Okay, here's a Kinder Surprise. What do you think's in this box? Huh? What do you think? Well, why are we not surprised? Look at that. Garden tomatoes. Oh my lord. Look at this, people. This is what I used to grow here. Not anymore. Look at this. These are so nice. Look how nice and big they are. Oh my god. I grew those in the greenhouse. Look at that. The whole bloody box full. Oh, we know what I'm going to put on the stove right now. I'm not going to get everything done. I'm already starting to chuck shit out. But tomorrow I'm going to start, I don't know. There wasn't that much meat, and what little meat there was, I don't know. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh yeah. And I made room. But anyway, and I got this too. I don't even know what's in it. Oranges and shit. This would be good for slimy. I don't like the feel of it. No. Oranges and shit. Lemon. Is that what happens when you freeze fruit? Let me taste it. I'll put that in the fridge. And when I do the blueberries and the raspberries, I found more berries down there. So I'm going to do these tomatoes, and then I'm going to start the berries after this. So hold on a minute. Okay, so I thought I'd put it on me so you can keep me company. Right? I'm going into shift 2. As a matter of fact, I haven't even rested. I so wanted to rest at 2 o'clock this afternoon, but that didn't happen. No. So I've been up since, I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've been pretty much going since. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'll be up for a while yet. But I so wanted to lay down. I couldn't though. I had to go downstairs and deal with this. And then, we know what happened there. Alright. So you just do what you can, right? It'll be the last time I have... Well, that's not true. You never know what might happen next year. Tomato on a vine, that is. Alright. Can you see me planting tomatoes next year? What do you think? I'll be lucky to have one deep freeze after it's all said and done. I actually want to remove one, but I can't do that just yet. I'm debating whether I should replace it with a newer one. Because when they're outside with the leaky porch, they get wet one way or another, and they start rusting, you know. Everything gets ruined out there eventually. Yeah. I try not to think about it though, you know. Yeah. So basically I just take off the part where the stem was, and I'm just going to do these like I did with the other one, and then I guess can them tomorrow at some point, and then I'm going to get into berries. Yeah. What little meat that was there, it wasn't a lot. The beef was gone. Unless it's in one other spot. Yeah. I found an old ham and one little one and one big one. Anyway, he said he took he took that, so he took the bones, so that's good. Because I'm not really in the mood to be cooking up bones and canning meat. I don't want to. I'm tired. I don't even want to do this. But the raccoons are loving it. Oh yeah. They're greasing. Mm-hmm. They got shrimp. Yeah. I don't know what I paid for it, but it's like usually about $15 a bag. So $45 in shrimp. It was 3 bags. Right. Maybe more. Who knows? I wasn't really paying attention. I gave up after a while. I just started chucking it myself. Oh boy. And then of course I saved the bags, right? I rinse them out and let them dry. But that tomatoes stuff that I made yesterday, oh man, I'm really happy with it. I don't mind doing this. No, it's okay. And if I can do the fruit, no, I'll be okay. Getting into Shimei's room, oh my God. I don't know what they did. Well, I know what they did. They continued to empty out that 14-year-old food storage area, and they just kind of, I don't know. They did what they did. They did what they did when Marina first moved in. Yeah. Whoa, sure, cut my hand. Yeah. And then when they went for round 2, it's a mess. I asked Tisha to come and help me, but I don't know. She may help me a little bit, but she doesn't have the stamina for that kind of stuff. It needs to be done. So I told Andre I think we might have to bring Amari downstairs and you're going to have to help me. Because I just got a very short little window. And I won't be able to do it on my own. There's no way. Absolutely no way. And they made a big mess. Yeah. But at least Rita's not helping me. So we don't have to worry about that, right? So make sure you rinse them. I don't cut them, nothing. I just put them in like that. Just give them a quick little rinse. If for some reason I see a spot that looks like maybe it was slightly freezer burnt, I cut it off. But for the most part, as long as they're dry when you freeze them, and then put them in the bag, they last forever, and they're really good, right? If you want to add a couple of red tomatoes from the grocery store, because these are not really red, right? To give it that quote-unquote color, you can do that. That's what I did. I like it. But stew them. You have to, like, stew them. Right. So I'll probably be canning these tomorrow night. So that gives me time to figure out what I'm going to do. Right? Maybe try and get a load of laundry in or two because, you know, you get behind on shit, right? Okay. There's more. There's more of them. Lots more. It's going to be another big pot. Yeah. Another big pot. But that's okay. I'm just going to stop buying groceries for a while, except for the bare necessities. Yeah. My son, you got too much stuff! Yeah, well, 5 kids, Uncle John, so on and so on. Right? I'm double your age, for crying out loud. What do you expect? Oh, I know it's not the right kind of stuff. I should have bought a house. Well, that didn't happen. I was programmed to be a renter, right? I didn't have the freedom to be free to go out there, and I was bound to the kitchen. Maybe that's why I ended up being a food prepper in the end. Yeah, maybe. And there's always a little part of me that's with the, with the bigger clan in terms of, oh sure, we got Marcane and Tisha, and if shit hits the fan, they'll come to the house, but, at the end of the day, I am a mother of 5, so I don't know. Not a big deal. I guess mothers aren't supposed to own anything. No. And to think that I gave him my screwdrivers. I bought all those new screwdrivers. I told Andre I want them back. Alright, spent all that money because Rhea ran off with my shit. And I bought a toolbox for it. Yeah. 3 more bags to go. Yeah. Oh boy. How you turn it off there? These tomatoes were getting big. Yeah. And then, the potato thief started with their crap. I'm just saying. Right. Well, I hope that was recording. I was saying, look how big these tomatoes were growing in my yard before the potato thief showed up. After the potato thief showed up, before it became a potato thief, it was poisoning my plants and shit. Right. So, last couple of years of growing tomatoes, this is all like 15, 16, 17, yeah, 18, and around that time. Anyway, I'm adding just a couple of store-bought ones in terms of, one, it adds a little color to it, because clearly you can see the difference. That's okay though. Right. And I have them, so they came at the right time. Oftentimes I buy and, it depends on how fresh they are. And then I get pushed off to the side and forgotten about, or, ugh. So at least these ones are getting used up right away, so that's good. I'm so tired. Yeah, my back is sore. Killing me. It adds a little extra flavor too. It's like when you're making applesauce. If you're making applesauce, try and do it with three or so different types of apples, not just one apple. Alright. So I got 3 different types of tomatoes, and I still might add another beefsteak. I have still some over there. A few more, not that many. We'll see. Big difference in color, but that's all right. So I guess we're canning tomatoes again tomorrow at some point. Yeah. And then we'll get into fruit. I don't think I have to do any meat. I hope my son uses it instead of trying to take it away from me. So I don't can any more jars. It's a big mess down there. Auntie Shimei's room. Oh yeah. Alright, so we get these guys going. It's a big pot, people. Yeah, can you believe that? Look at that. Check that out. What do you think? Is this recording? I don't even know. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Pretty nice. Okay. And I found green tomatoes. I'm glad I didn't leave them downstairs, because as I was doing these, I remembered I found those. Anyway, I did bring them up, so that's good. So guess where they're going? They're going in the pot. They're going into the pot with the rest of the tomatoes. It's not green chilies, it's just green tomato. Yeah. Okay, so that's the second batch of tomatoes. Now, I did put 6 cans of Rotella with the green chilies in this, and then I just kind of boiled it down and made it quite thick, right? Well, I didn't boil it, I simmered it down, right? And 2 tablespoons per jar of lemon juice, a little bit of salt. And it has green tomatoes from the garden, as well as my tomatoes from the garden from 2017, okay? And then a few grocery tomatoes that were in my kitchen that I had just bought. This is the leftover that's not getting canned. And then we've got 7 jars that I did yesterday, which is really good. And then this one was green tomatoes, basically. And then I decided to add in 2 cans of Rotella, which made it really tasty. And I don't know if I added a couple of extra red tomatoes from the grocery store or not. So these ones I'm going to do for 20 minutes just because there's a bit more Rotella in it. And needless to say, yeah, I'm still having panic attacks, thinking about stupid Morning Glory, wondering why my landlady is geeking on about freaking Morning Glory. All of a sudden she doesn't like the Morning Glory. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, people. Like, easy for people to say go out there and pull that crap. Like, you know, I don't have time to go out there. And I don't, you know what? A lot of shit is being thrown out from the freezers. I just don't have the stamina for it. No, 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 no. And for the amount of meat that was in that freezer, or at least so I thought, some of it was gone. So maybe my son was using some because I told him he could. So he probably got into the beef where he found it, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. He took the bones. Better for me. So there's a little bit of, what is that called? A cutlet down there, but it just might end like a pork cutlet, right? You know, but not, it was just a few packs vacuum sealed, and they're still in that freezer, and who knows? Like, honestly, it just might end up being coyote food yet, because now there's a lot of fruit, a lot of blueberries that were vacuum sealed, and there's raspberries there, and I'm pretty sure there's blackberries, so those I'd like to maybe do, right? Just because I don't really have money. So after this, I'm gonna get the fruit. I'm gonna start with fruit. I'm not gonna worry about anything else. I don't care. Like my life is falling apart. Like seriously, like this is so stupid. I can't stand my life anymore. You know, I'm not gonna spend my last days pulling freaking Morning Glory, breaking up things and throwing everything out in the garbage just because, I don't know what is wrong with people. I don't know where they get off on mistreating you the way they mistreat you. Honestly, I don't know. When I get out there, I'll attempt to pull. It's all over. I looked outside today. You don't even know. It's like all over the place. Literally all over the place. I just had the lids. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. Where are they? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all over. And just Wait, I'll show you. Like, there's nothing routine about it. You live in the yard. That's what ends up happening. For the size of the yard with the morning glory from left, right, center, back and forth, everywhere, all around, not including everything else that freaking some of these get like this tall and like it's stupid. Like it's completely freaking stupid. It's so unfair. There's nothing fair about it. You know, you kill all the trees, kill. That's all it is. Kill this and kill. Yeah, okay. Throw that out, destroy, get rid of it, kill, right? Weed until you're dead, until you're exhausted, until your eyeballs fall out. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. Like it's stupid. Having panic attacks over stupid morning glory. With my 85-year-old landlady running around, I don't know, acting like she's some sort of conqueror. With the machete. Attacking the vulnerable in the hut. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't fucking get it. So I'm trying to stay positive. Okay? I really am. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am. Okay? I'm going to can this. I'm going to do it 20 minutes because of the Rotella. And then I'm going to rest for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to go see what those berries are like. And I'm not doing anything fancy with them. I'm just going to throw them in a pot, cook them up, throw some sugar in there, throw them in a freaking jar, and boil them. Right? And then maybe make pie with them or something later on. Or who knows. Nobody cares. Until the hard times fall on them. And they got no money for shit. And mouths to feed. Besides themselves. Or whatever. Or even themselves with no money. They'll look back. And they'll kick themselves in their asses. Yeah. What comes around goes around. You have plenty today. Give it 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. You will maybe have nothing. Yeah. And you'll be wishing that you had followed my advice. You were nicer to me. Yeah. For the ones that are still living, that is. For the ones that die, well, some will go straight to hell and not even realize where the hell they are when they get there. Yeah. And when they get up to heaven, if they believe in heaven, well, they'll have to explain themselves now, won't they? Right. Why they did the things that they did. Yeah. Anyway. All that over morning glory and weeds. And a landlady that's 85 years old. Acting like a conqueror. A conqueror. She's trying to conquer me. Break my spirit. Hurt me. That's it. That's all. That's all it is. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to think. For something that's going to be bulldozed down in the end. Don't want to fix the fence. Don't want to fix the stairs. Don't want to fix the garage. Don't want to fix the fucking porch. Don't want to fix the back window. Don't want to buy a simple weed whacker. Nothing. But yet, it's got to look pristine. Well, I work like a slave. One way or another. Even in my head, I'm out there pulling it. It's not going nowhere. It's going to come right back. Be happy. Everything's green. Little white flowers come with morning glory. Okay. Blueberries. Is this film working? Blueberries are so expensive. For a pint, you're looking at $5 to $7 a pint in the grocery store. That's blackberries. I ain't picking no blackberries. Okay, I'm so worn out. You don't even know. I don't want to do this. Nothing. I just want to throw it all out, be like everybody else in the neighborhood. But, you know, I'm battling with myself. Anyway, these are the blackberries that I picked who knows when. Obviously with Andre. As if I'll be picking blackberries this year. Not that you can find that many anymore. I'll tell you, they smell really, 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 really good. That's the only thing that is motivating me to do this. I'm so tired. I feel so defeated, you don't even know. All I can think about is my landlady running around like a tyrant, trying to conquer me. Well, she's already conquered me. Just keep rubbing my face into the dirt, you know? For whatever reason. Because we know at the end of the day, everything's just going to be wiped out. In terms of the yard. I'm tired of being held hostage to a fucking yard. You know, I'm trying to get in a mood where I'm happy to be in the yard. But she makes it so unhappy for me out there just thinking about it. And it drains me, people. It just... Because I remember doing... And then what I'm doing now, you see, she doesn't... I don't think she's ever raised any of her grandkids. But if she was in my shoes, looking after Amari, doing his laundry, and whatever, oh yeah, maybe she'd have a different tune. I don't know why she thinks I'm superhuman, because I'm not, right? I gave my 12, 14 years in that yard. I don't have anything left to be pulling another 40 bags of Morning Glory, because you know what's out there. I went out and I looked outside yesterday. All over. All over. But she never cared about it before, you see, that's the thing. You know, she never did. Just like the trees. They didn't bother her, but now it's every tree she's out to kill. Like, literally. Every fucking tree. Like, who does that? So clearly, that's what's bothering me the most, is what's going on with this erosion of quality of life for a fake image. Like I asked Mr. Gill, what was the point? What was the purpose of everything that I've done? You know, in regards to the yard. Tell me, what was the fucking purpose? He didn't know how to answer that one. And if he did, he didn't want to say it. Well, it benefited them, but it didn't benefit me. So yeah, I'd stay quiet too. Anyway, these are these blueberries that have been in the freezer for quite a long time. And they're good too. And I have 3 packs of raspberries in the freezer downstairs, ready to be canned up. They're slightly frozen yesterday. Slightly, like they were half and half maybe. So, it's just, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I have no place for the jars. But the cost of food is so expensive. I have kale all nicely wrapped up into bags. They're just there. And I just want to take, and I already threw out shit, okay, people? But it's beautiful, and it grew in my garden. In those days, it was safe to grow food in this yard. It's not fucking safe anymore. You got the Tamika Johnsons running around fucking stalking the house, not to mention whoever else in the neighborhood with their own sick fucking agendas, right? In terms of, well, I want that house, I want to buy it, you know, so let's go fuck with her food. Oh, well, you know, maybe if we get her kicked out, we can move in. Let's go fuck with her food, you know, just go steal her potatoes and pour bleach into shit and just whatever, like, fuck off.
Water and electricity had not yet been connected.
Right? For the amount that you have to do to get some kale. I'm not planting anything right now. So I have kale in the freezer that I already planted and prepped. And it's ready. I can can it. It's easy peasy. 70 minutes in a pint. Do you know how much money I spend on kale? When I buy this stuff, and Swiss chard and spinach, oh my god, too much. And half the time, if I don't cook it up right away and do something, it goes out into the compost. So yeah, I'm battling myself now at this time in the morning while everybody's sleeping. I got jars in the oven. Sterilizing. What do you call it? So I can't see the time. Yeah, I'm battling with myself saying, okay, who cares if you're tired? Doesn't matter. Who cares if you have no place for these jars right now? It doesn't matter. What matters is the money's adding up in terms of like these, like for example. Okay? You see? These ones I really like. 7 jars of this. This is the one that Andre said smelled really good, and it did. Okay? And that's just basically garden tomatoes that were frozen for years and a few grocery store tomatoes. That was it. And then this was green tomatoes, and I threw in a few red tomatoes, and then I threw in 2 cans of Rotella. For whatever reason, actually had flavor with the chili, so it made this really good. Okay? Like, really tasty. And then I found more tomatoes, as if I didn't have enough of them in there. Anyway, it was a big box, right? You can see. So I did all that, and then I had a bag that had a few little green tomatoes, and another bag that had green tomatoes that had been cut. Anyway, I decided just to throw them all into the pot, threw in some store-bought tomatoes to brighten it up with the color and whatnot, right? Maybe add some extra flavor. And stew wasn't as good as this one. But it probably had something to do with the green tomatoes. So I decided to, well, you know, get a few Rotella out of the cans, okay? So that, you know, I'd rather have them in this than in a can. So I opened 6 cans and mixed them in with this, okay? Cook. The chili taste wasn't as strong as it was in the first 2 cans that I opened up for these ones. Now, mind you, the ratio is different. But even when I ate the Rotella from the can, it didn't have that bite with the chili, and that's what I don't like about Rotella. That's what I noticed, right? You know, it says chilies, but it doesn't taste like chili, like the green chilies. Anyway, it's still fine. It's doable. It's good, right? It's not as good as these ones. I'd go first. This is the best. This is the second best. And then there's the backup, right? So you figure, you know, Rotella itself is like $2.50 a freaking can, for crying out loud. Right? So 5, 10, 15, 20. That's $20 in Rotella for what it's worth, and that'd be 6 cans, that's about the equal of a can. But this is better than Rotella. Anyway, we'll say $2.50, right? So $2.50, so $5 a jar, right? So 10, okay, we'll just round it off. So $5 a jar, right? Yeah. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Resulted from blunt force trauma to the head, the nature of which indicated deliberate actions. A preliminary
10,
hearing
20,
case was held on October
30,
13th.
40,
After reviewing
50,
evidence
60,
presented by the prosecution,
70,
the judge ruled there were sufficient
and I said
facts to
20.
refer the case
So that's
to the
$90 in tomatoes, people.
county district attorney's
Just
office
right there if you want to take it there.
gathering
Okay.
evidence, questioning witnesses,
And then
and building the case.
we know that these things over here are anywhere between $5 to $7 a pint in the grocery stores. Yeah, okay, sure. Look at this. And these, if you're lucky to find them outside, you scored. Otherwise, to buy them in the grocery store, $4 or $5 a pint. And they smell so, so good. Right? So basically, I'm going to start with the blueberries first. I'm going to throw in some sugar. Just a bit. They don't really need them, but I'm going to do it anyway. 1 to 2 cups. 1 to 2 cups. Okay? I'm going to can mostly... Well, I got seven pint-sized jars in the actually, I should probably put more in, because I just don't want to do anything.
The prosecution also drew attention to the fact
I
that the
just don't
child's
want to
father
do
was flirting with a
anything.
woman in text messages.
And I'm going to do the kale, though, and then when I've got kale, beet leaves, probably have Swiss chard in there, everything that came from my yard years ago, right? And I'm just going to throw them all into one big pot, take them out of the bags, give them a quick rinse, throw them into one big pot, and then I'm going to go outside. And that marrow plant that's growing out there, I'm going to scoop up on some of that, process it, right, chop up the leaves, give it a little bit of a blanch, and the stems you pull the thing and then you cut, and I'm going to mix that in with the leaves from my freezer. I don't care if it's beet leaves, kale, Swiss chard, whatever it is. Make a mosh podge, and then I'm going to can them in pint-sized jars. Yep. And you're looking at anywhere from $5 to $10 a jar, as if you were to go buy it in a grocery store. In terms of a bunch of, to buy one bunch of kale is $5. Yeah. Swiss chard, you might get it for $3 or $4, and spinach is usually at $2 a bunch. And in order to get the beet leaves, you have to buy the bunch, so you're looking at $4 there. Do you see how fast it adds up? Oh yeah. So I'm like, don't be stupid, Judy. Plus, you get to recycle the bags, right? Because, you know, and I'm like adding, as I'm doing this, the bags are emptying out, and I'm like, okay, you saved $2 at the dollar store, just in bags. Oh, well, you saved another $2. So far I've probably saved $6 if I was to go off to the dollar store and go buy bags. It's 3 boxes, $2 a bag. I mean, $2 a box, right? For 10 bags. This is stupid, but it all starts to add up. That's the thing. Right. And if I do it now, I don't have to worry about it later. I mean, I don't see myself running off to go pick blackberries. I don't. Anything that grows in the back, people in the neighborhood, they pick, the kids pick. So I'm not worried about it. Plus, on my side of the fence, I suppose if I really wanted blackberries, I can go on my side of the fence on the inside. Right. Assuming that people don't go through the broken fence to go pick blackberries on the inside of my yard. I wouldn't put it past people to do it, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, well the fence is open, let's just go in the inside of the yard and go pick blackberries. I'll go out there thinking I got blackberries and there won't be any. Fuck. I'm so irked about that fence. I worked so hard for so many years to try and keep that fence up, and it all fell down in a matter of months. And it's not like anybody is saying anything about it either. Nobody's complaining about the broken fence. Hell no. They're using it to their advantage to attack me, people.
Trying to respond to everybody's message.
Alright.
But it's a little overwhelming.
Why you got that chair? I'm gonna show you this chair.
I love y'all and I appreciate y'all.
Well, because I like it. You ever stop to think about that, man?
That y'all love her. I know she feel it.
But it looks old and ugly.
The love is unmatched. It's unreal.
So,
Strangers.
what looks old and ugly to you looks beautiful to me. Yeah.
Telling me.
Okay, so 1 cup of sugar anyway, in with the blackberries. Blueberries, they don't really need it, but I'm just going to put it in there probably anyway. I'm going to put 2 cups, maybe 3, with the blackberries.
I really do.
Although it's already tasty. Uh-huh. See, this is where you just have to pace yourself. Right? Do what you can and, you know, just, it makes sense to can the greens. It really does. And add in extra fresh from outside to build up the minerals and vitamins within the jar, right? Because it's fresh, fresh, fresh. And you get, yeah, it needs more sugar. I'm going to put 2 more cups of sugar. Hold on. Okay, so far 1 cup of sugar in here. And if you notice, there's enough liquid, right? Like this should just, I'm just going to can them like this. Right? I'm not going to try and blend them up, nothing. Right? I've got 7 jars. I'm going to start with the blueberries first. That's 1 cup of sugar in there for now to start. We'll let it dissolve. And I've already put 2 cups, I think. Oh, you see? I already forgot. Yeah, 2 cups. I've already put 2 cups of sugar in this. And I've got an extra cup there. So we may go as high as just 3 cups. It's not necessary, but it just, you know, it makes me feel better. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not going to put no more than 3 cups. Because you can always add later. Depending on what you're doing. You could even consider this to be a juice concentrate. All you'd have to do is just run it through a cheesecloth to get out the pulp and the seeds, and then use that as a concentrate to make a juice of some kind, like lemon blackberry juice. That would work.
Born on the sacred holiday of Thanksgiving in 2015. She arrived in this world.
But I'm tired, so when you get tired, like just like, right, you don't, you know, but you have to pace yourself through.
Very cute, pleasant, and cheerful baby. She practically never cried.
Yeah, that's fine.
Emily had
You have
3
to,
older brothers and a sister.
you know, now these jars I've had in the house, right? So it's not costing me anything at this point for jars. Now I am going to buy jars. I don't really want to, but for practical purposes, it would be better if I had regular mouth 1 pint sized jars for the greens. Yeah, because that's enough for a meal. And if you've got a larger family, you can open up 2 jars, right? Versus doing them in a pint. In a pint, it's 70 minutes in the pressure canner. Oh joy. 90 minutes in a quart. And honestly, with that marrow plant out there growing, and now that I'm doing this, I maybe should make an effort to can extra, so that I can cut back on my food bill for those greens, right? Because, you know, I want to really focus on paying down my credit cards and stuff, eh? And so it, you know, if I can save 20 bucks a month, 30 bucks a month in greens, because I've got it canned in the house, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not saying I won't buy fresh every now and then, I will, but no, so I'm gonna buy some jars today. Tisha's gonna go get them for me. For the kale, for sure. And then I have a little bit of raspberries down there that I'm just going to can up. There's cutlets, pork cutlets down there. I'm going to put them in the oven today or something. I'm going to cook them up. I'm going to see if I like them. If I like them, then I'll can them. If I don't like them, they're raccoon meat. I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care. Everything else I gave to my son. He took it, whatever. And I have fish though. I have black cod that needs to be put somewhere where I have no place to put it because it's in their freezer. And I think I don't know, sole, or I can't remember what it was. It's vacuum sealed though. But so I'm going to get some salmon jars today because I'll probably end up canning that just because I really have no place for it at this point, unless I take something else from somewhere else out and can that, and I'm really not in the mood. No. And because I might be doing fish, I have 2 salmons up in this freezer, so I can can those as well. Pink salmon. So I can do pink salmon, black cod, and whatever that other one is. So I'm going to get at least a couple cases of salmon-sized jars, right? Probably do that over the next couple of weeks, because they're frozen right now, so I got a little time.
Amanda asked in surprise why on earth he was wiping the child in the middle of the night in the basement. And then
Okay,
she
so we
noticed
don't
that
want to...
something was clearly wrong with her daughter's face. So she ran up to Benji and Emily. The girl's face was all...
I'm just going to add 1 more cup of sugar
Some strange gurgling sounds escaped from
in
her
with the
throat.
blueberries, I think, or maybe 2. Hold on.
Amanda
And as you're doing, just keep it easy on yourself. Wash the jars. I put them in the oven at 250. Brought them out in this little tray. So, because when you start boiling them, the times when you want to boil your jars is if you're using old jars that maybe you had canned meat in, and then, you washed it and everything else after the fact, and now you're going to use it for a water bath versus a pressure canner because you don't remember what was in that jar at the first time you used it. So, with that said, then you'd have to water bath because the water would help to remove any particles that washing didn't do for you with you washing it. Whereas if you're using basically new jars, it's different, right? So just know that you can put jars in an oven for 250, leave them in there for 20 minutes up to half an hour at least, and you're good to go with water bathing your food, right? And those jars can actually sit in the oven at 250 for 24 hours as you go through the process of canning. Okay? So we're going to keep these. Sure, get it all over your fingers. We're going to keep these in pint size because you can use them for muffin making, right? A jelly roll of some kind. You could put them in I wouldn't say cinnamon bun, but in a similar type kind of way. With icing sugar on top. That would be nice. Right? Like a glazed frosting of some kind. And yeah, I'm tired. Oh man, you don't even know. If you notice, I think I hear Amari starting. Yeah, I hear Amari. Here we go. And Tisha's dropping off my grandkids today. 2 of them. I'm going to be here for like 9 hours. Oh joy, house is such a mess. Which means, and they make even more mess. We're still cleaning up their mess. Last time they were here. For crying out loud. Yeah. But whatever. I asked Tisha to come downstairs into Auntie Shemai's room and help me to start sorting out stuff there. And then we'll get into her room, and I have some craft stuff in there. And she can go through the craft stuff and take a bunch of craft stuff with her. So you're looking at least $5 on sale for a pint of blueberries at this point in the grocery store. And they come from Mexico or a place like that. Right? You know? So 7 jars, we'll say at $5 a jar, at least, on sale. Well, that's $35, right? Add that on to your $90. And then you've got the Blackberries, same thing. Right? Yeah. And then whatever's left over, I got quart-sized jars in the... It looks like there might be 1 quart left, which would be perfect for me because I've got quart-sized jars in the oven, and that's what I'm going to can the blackberries in. Quart size. Yeah. Definitely 1 quart. So 1 quart, 2 pints. So 7, 8, 9. That's $45 in blueberries. Yeah. Yeah. 1 quart, shy about that much water. So I just topped it off with some water. It's so tasty. Oh my god. Now that's the blueberries. I'm going to do the blueberries first. Minus that quart size because the next batch will be quarts, so I got 6 more quarts for the blackberries. So 1 will be blueberries, and how many quarts that we get in this pot, which will probably be about 4 or 5. I don't think I'll get 6 out of it, but that's okay. And then it's a water bath for 15 minutes, right? You know, on the bright side of things here, working on Amari's calories and meals, whatever, right? I haven't made it because I'm busy. But I want to, like, my goal is, I don't know. It's been like this ever since I got him. Andre is such a sloppy cook, man. Fucking burner, the fire alarm is gonna start going off. That's all I need. Shit, man. Beep, 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 beep. Everybody. I want to give him, like, you know, I started sprouting, okay? That I cooked up yesterday, and I took it out of the pan and I got that in the fridge. The sprouted peas and the sprouted cantatelli beans. So at some point today, I should do something with them, right? So I know what I want to do. And then, you know, in order to be able to give him 3 snacks a day where he can actually eat it, right? I got these yogurt cups that I'm going to use. And then, of course, I have to think about Andre. Oh, that little bugger, man. He's losing all my silverware. I don't know what the hell he does. But I'm so mad. Oh yeah, I'm so freaking mad. No silverware. He's at that age where he only thinks about himself. I bought Nutella to make Amari snacks with, knowing that Andre likes it. So I said, okay, Andre, all within reason. He ran off with the whole freaking container, and he's been snacking on it in the living room as he's on the computer. Same thing with the freaking peanuts. I'm like, where's the peanuts, Andre? Oh, well, they're in the living room. And I'm like, why? Well, because I'm snacking on them. And I'm like, no, you're eating them all. So, with that caveman mentality, it's my food, don't touch it kind of thing. Anyway, these here would be handy for the snacks that I want to create for Amari in these little cups, right? Because it's easy to get it. You know, you make them where they last 3 days. There's enough for 3 days, at least 2 times a day, right? Versus going off to the grocery store and buying those little cups that like little things, single serving portions that aren't big enough. Really, you have to give them 2 if you want to give them that of yogurt. Well, I can do yogurt, whipping cream, blend it up with some, like, do the blueberries, right? Blend them up, whipping cream, mix the 2, put it in the container, and put yogurt back on top that maybe has honey or something with it, because I'm buying plain yogurt with the probiotics, so of course you have to flavor it. So honey will be a good base for that, or maple syrup, right? That's what I mean by snacks. This could be used for the snacks. Yeah. So I got 7 jars, pints, and 1 quart size. That was in my freezer. So that's good. And I already had the jars in the house, which is even better. So it didn't cost me anything other than my time. Okay. See? Look at how nice that is. It's so nice. Okay, so I'm listening to a video on YouTube with the TikTok rants about shrinkflation. When you do stuff like this, you don't have to worry about shrinkflation. Right? Okay? As a matter of fact, you get what you want. Because if you don't like it, don't can it. Right? That's the thing. So, like that, what is that stuff called? Cutlets. I'm going to cook them up today, even though, whatever. And if I don't like the way they taste, I'm not even going to waste my time. So now we're going to get these in the water bath. But yeah, 500 mils. We know what we get. 500 mils. With Primo stuff in it. So I'm going to, after I'm done this will take up my counter. And then I'm going to try and attempt to put some of those away in my room. I don't know where, but I'm going to try, because I need to deal with downstairs independently. I have an idea of what I might want to try, but at this point, I'll take down some of the... I got a bin here with some of the organic green and yellow peas. Well,
huge space.
yellow peas
And I
anyway.
looked at my husband like, why are they floating? Why isn't
All the
it
green
full?
ones went into
We just
those
have
juice
more
bottles,
beverages now than
and they're already in my room.
Come on.
So that's good.
Full quart of pickles.
So I don't know where I'm going to put these jars, but
I'll just open the jumbo pencils that I got at the Dollar Tree.
I guess
I know
that's
that, isn't it?
just part and parcel of being a prepper
Like one piece.
when you get to the point where.
Absolutely.
But now that I've done this,
What?
I think maybe what I'm going to try to do at some point in the next month or two, after I'm caught up with other things, and I'm going to make an attempt to, what do you call it? Use the jars with the kale and stuff that I'm going to be canning probably today. Yeah, probably, but not now. It'll be later on in the evening. I'm going to do all the prep work today. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to gather up some of that marrow. I'm going to blanch it, yada yada yada. I'm going to rinse the kale, yada yada yada. I'm going to go in my fridge. I bought spinach before this all happened. I bought actually kale before all this happened. So if it's still good, I'll use it. If it's not good, it's going out into the compost. Oh. And then I might rest for a little while at some point because I'm really tired today. And then I'm going to can up, well, at least a full case of greens, just greens, right? And I'm going to try and use them 1 jar a week, 2 jars a week, as I'm working on a Amari's side dish, cooking for Andre and I, or whatever, or us. Because if I cook for Andre and I, Amari eats too, but there's always Amari's, which is separate, right? And now we're going to put them in the water bath. Pretty sure these are all tightened. I think I'm going to have to get my stove elements serviced. But right now it seems to be working fine. I get a hum, you know, coming in with the element. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm going to make an effort to use what I'm canning once or twice a week to see if I like it at this size, right? Keep them close by, keep them upstairs. And then when I'm ready to buy kale and spinach and Swiss chard and all that crap.
You know we deliver?
Then I'll spend like $50 or $60 or $70 or whatever, how many bucks I'll spend. And I'll just can them up all in one day. Versus buying, cooking, putting them in the containers, putting them in the fridge. And then, you know, I go back in the fridge and a week later and fucking find the stupid shit buried in the back, can't eat it, whatever. Because that happens, right? Because I get so busy with so many things because I'm always being punched out. Like I'm in a freaking boxing ring all the time.
It just gets so clear. It's like, oh, look at this person in there. And that be it right there. Because they don't know what's going on in their head. They don't know what's going on in their head. And some of us aren't mature enough to use our mouth and communicate what's going on with us. So, with that being said, it completely
Looks like it's more than an inch.
There's nothing completely there. Like, there'll be nothing there after the weird phase. My advice from me to you is just protect your heart. That's really it.
An inch to 2 inches.
Is that either all the big ones are natty.
I use my pizza pan as a lid for my pressure canner. It
Then
works.
you have this pool that's either gay or they're just not working.
Okay, so now we've got this. Where in a situation like that, you want to write already on the lid, Blueberry. So you know, right?
Wonderful influence that those things have had on the dating culture here in the States. You know, we're the generation that had to sit here and, you know, have the ghosting come up and,
I can't
and
see
the
it.
lack of communication and started
I
treating
don't know if
people
it's
like
the right
they're
way, backwards,
disposable,
upside down,
and
I don't
not
know.
wanting to work through anything, wanting to be selfish and entitled because, well, you think there's a billion options out there that actually want you seriously.
Yeah, if I like it,
That's the 30-year-olds. That's what we got.
then that's what I'm going to try next. After my jars are empty and I need to refill them, then I'll just buy. Yeah. And if I can still see next year and I've got energy to plant something, maybe I can always plant that stuff next year, give it a shot anyway, and can it up versus freezing it. See, that's the beauty about canning. You can can it and forget it for 20 years. Forget about it for 20 years. As long as the lid hasn't popped, you can still eat it. A freezer, well, that could go at any time for any reason, and then you're left with the crises, right? I'm showing you what to do with the crises. Okay.
I'm on pin.
You know, I got a jar here that, I don't know, it's weird. I hope it doesn't. You know, I watch, you know, YouTube videos every now and then, okay. And I've been watching where people have been like they abuse children. You know, little infants, 6 months old, 2 years old, 2 years old, 6 years old, whatever, right? And some of this shit that people do to children is so disgusting. You know, parents with other kids, and then they isolate one kid and they lock the child up in the closet and abuse the child and da-da-da-da and murder the child, and, you know, or just women get boyfriends and the boyfriends start abusing the child and the mother's not doing anything. The next thing you know, she's abusing the child and the child dies. And like, it's just, and then I think of Shimei and her age group with Truth for Reality, you know, doing all his videos on women being murdered by men, usually, right? I mean, women murder women too because of jealousy over men or whatever, but a lot of men are, like Shimei was murdered by Julian, and that's just a fact. You know, and it's just, and then I think about, like, you know, how, like, what my landlady is doing and this whole situation with them in general, as, you know, they, like, you know, like, she has no right to tell me to throw out chairs and tables and because they're ugly, like, get rid of everything, you know, my metal rail that I need for maybe use it as a something, maybe next year I might plant something and like a squash and it can crawl on it or whatever, right? Like it was just something to complain about and to see how far she could get away with bullying me, because I'm listening to a video right now where this woman had 2 little children, a little 3-year-old and a little 6-month-old. I guess she broke up with the father of them and got lonely and met herself a 22-year-old on some dating site, moved him in 2 weeks later as she's working and doing whatever, and he's testing the boundaries to see what he can get away with, and within a few months, all of a sudden, this little 3-year-old is like being beat up all the time, people. You know? Like, it's disgusting. She couldn't fight back. And the people that were there to help her, to protect her, they just went along with it themselves. You know? Like, you gotta be pretty messed up to, right? And like, this is what Mrs. Gill's doing. She just, well, seeing how far she can get with destroying my life and taking my stuff away and calling them ugly and putting us to work in a yard that is not routine. Okay? It's not routine. After 14 years, it's not routine to be having to yank out mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of freaking morning glory because it never goes away. and then be expected to dig up even more weeds because she doesn't like the white flower, as she's telling you to kill every fucking tree that she can point her finger at, even though if it's just a small ornamental bonsai walnut tree, knowing that she's going to either sell the house, make her 3.5 million, 4 million fucking dollars, so her family can pat her on the back and say, oh, you did a really good job being a landlord. You made us all rich now because you're dying, and you know they're going to be getting something from her, right? Because, right? We talked about that, right? And the house is going to be fucking trashed because it is trashed. That's why they're tearing them down, because they view them as garbage. So if you promote that, you encourage it to happen because it builds more wealth for your investors, because she's got her fingers in there somewhere. Well, she does. She owns the house, right? She's selling it to a property developer, knowing it's going to be bulldozed down because nobody gives a rat's ass about this fucking house. So if that's the case, then why are you making it so that my life is completely miserable, where I feel like a little 3-year-old child, being abused by, 85-year-old women and everybody that's connected to her? The city of Surrey abuses me. Her fucking son abuses me, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why? So I die like that little baby? Lots of babies? All kinds of babies. And for what? To sit quiet and say nothing? I'm not throwing out that chair. She'll be able to come back and she'll say something to me. And I'll be like, why? Like, you can't do this. That's what she's doing is wrong. She's testing the waters. Just like this pervert that raped a little 3-year-old after he moved into some woman's house and tested the waters to see how far he could get. And he had already murdered his son 2.5 years before he met this chick. And the person was only 22 years old. And the mother was so lonely and didn't want to say anything when he started abusing her daughter. And she ended up, allowing it to watch. Probably some of these people start actually doing it themselves right along with their freaking lovers. Like, it's sick. How is what's happening to me any more different? I'm like a defenseless child that can't fucking defend myself, because it's not like I can go to the city and make a complaint, because they're on board with it. They're the ones that fuel it. They're the ones that are empowering the landlords. And if the landlords are like egotistical, power hungry, are tyrants and pompous and selfish and gluttonous and are sadistic, then yeah, they're going to partner up with the fucking city and they're going to help each other when it's convenient for them. Well, the little children suffer. Only they can't talk about it, but I can. But I feel like a little 3-year-old, with a bunch of adults around me that just want to hurt me, and that's it. Why else would you tell me to get rid of a freaking chair or anything else that you look at? Because that's pretty much what it's boiling down to, as you're putting us to work in something that you know is unreasonable. I can't afford to be outside 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 7 fucking days a week, right until my ass is out on the streets, okay? But that's what she wants from me. And if she can't get it from me, she wants it from the rest of my family. So it can look good. With nothing in it. The yard, that is. Why? To make it easy for the bulldozer to come down and bulldoze down the house? Is that why you're making it look good? What else is there to make it look good for? So that property taxes can go up, so their house value can go up, so instead of making $3 million, you can make $4 million and buy a little extra fucking love from the rest of the family sitting around the table going, yeah, $4 million, wow, that means I get an extra $200,000 when the bitch dies. Oh, sorry, she's not my bitch. She's not a bitch. She's a nice old lady. That's what she is. She's generous. She gave us money when she died. But at what expense? Abusing children! I need to do fence fucking repairs. I need to fix other things outside when it comes to sheds or whatever. And I have no materials because they were testing the waters. To see how much they could take away and then hold it against you and make you pay for it and then expect you to go outside and do something. Just so that you have a place to live for a little while in fear, so you get kicked out anyway. With no place to go, because it's in partnership with organized crime. That's why, people. That's why Shimei is dead. Never got no justice with the justice system, with the government, with the police, with the healthcare system, nothing. Because they all had their fingers in it with the kickbacks. And that's why there's a whole lot of freaking Shimeis dead in the province of British Columbia, Canada. Because the government was testing its waters. And the people aren't strong enough to fight back because they're children. I don't know if this jar is gonna... I think there's something wrong with this jar. I'm afraid to touch it. It's like this. I don't think it had a chance to vent. No. Maybe I tightened it too much, or maybe the rim was buckling or something. Because these rims, they buckle, eh? But yeah, no, like... I feel like an abused child that's getting ready to be murdered by a bunch of fucking sickos and perverts. Yeah, that get off on this shit, people. Yeah. And because of that, because I can't fight back, that's why. That's what a child can't do. I'm like, why do people do this to teeny weeny little beautiful children with happy smiles and they're so innocent? Why do people go out of their way to hurt them? Why? As I'm watching this stuff, getting disturbed. Because they can't fight back, they can't speak, they can't run away, they can't do anything. All they can do is wait until they're dead, knowing that they're slowly but surely dying because ain't nobody coming to rescue them. For the ones that are like old enough to understand that concept, as they fight and struggle to survive, and they can't because they're children. There's too many negative assholes and bastards and bitches and witches and freaking demons and devils that are out to hurt them. It's no different with me. And people, they I don't know, like I say, there's families that have children, or they bring children in through the foster care, and they'll take one and they'll designate that one to receive all the punishment, the pain, the suffering, the torture, the death, the demise of the child as it's a progression of, and they make them do all kinds of crazy shit that's inhuman. They do inhuman things to them, while the rest of the kids and the parents act like there's nothing going on. They have dinners, they go out for lunch, they go to the park, they have barbecues in the back, while the child is locked up in some fucking closet, starving, with their hands tied up. Well, that family acts like nothing is going on. And they all know what's going on. The children that are in those situations, I think they're just afraid to say anything. The parents are straight up freaking deviant and need to go to fucking hell. Sorry, boo-boo hell. Well, it's the same thing with me. I got a band of people, whether it's the city of Surrey, Mrs. Gill and her fucking clan, my son with his wife, who knows? Fucking Tamika with her fucking little crew on the side, right? That just want to treat me like I'm a 3-year-old. That with no voice. They can do whatever they want when they want. Doesn't matter if it's murder, medical kidnapping, illegal organ harvesting, work you as a bloody slave for 14 fucking years to put you back out there even though you can't fucking see no more. You're overworked as it is and you're being kicked out into the streets. So what the hell am I working for? So I can live for another day with my heart like this, waiting for the next attack? Yeah, okay. Isn't that what those little children go through? Those little 3 and 2 and 1-year-olds go through? Yeah. Waiting to be punched, waiting to be kicked, have their hair ripped out, being burned, and put their heads in the water, having scalding water thrown on, all this crazy shit. Because they can't fight back. My landlady knows I can't fight back. So she's testing the waters for all the other fucking landlords to do the same damn thing to their tenants as she's doing to me. If she can get away with it with me, she can get away with it with any other fucking tenant. She'll be 92 years old going to some other tenant's house saying, get rid of it! Get rid of it! If you don't, city's gonna come. It's all your fault. You're not allowed to have a fucking table or a chair because, bitch, you're supposed to sit on the fucking floor. Don't you know that? Haven't you figured that out? Crawl on your hands and knees and pull out the weeds. That's the best that you get. Judy taught me that. And once all the other landlords figure out that they can do it, because they've been doing it, and that's why my landlady is now doing it, they're all going to be doing it. For the most part. Because it's control. They're abusive. They like to hurt people. They're sadistic. They're selfish. They get off on it. Right? That's what those pedophiles fucking do. That rape little teeny-weeny children. Right? Those sick old mothers that abuse their children and let their boyfriends and husbands or whoever, girlfriends, abuse their children and then end up abusing the children right along with the ones that are abusing them. If they're not abusing them themselves. Until they're dead. Why? It's sick. I live a sickness. That's the little bit of blackberry. I'll do something. I have to grind it up. It's got seeds in it. I'm going to try and blend it up and see if the seeds will blend up for Amari. If not, I'm going to have to strain it. Or something. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, right? Listen, this is boiling away. Never put the freaking timer on it, right? Like, seriously, every day. Now I'm worried about a stupid chair in morning fucking glory. And a weed that has white flowers. And I don't care. Not now. Right? You pull them, you can't. You have to dig up, and even then, you dig, they come right back. Doesn't matter. If you're not up on it 24/7, forget it. Like I said, I gave up my life for this yard. I'm sick of it. I don't mind doing a little something when I get out there, but, you know, I have to take care of what's going on the inside, and I've been having it pretty freaking rough, right? In terms of, like, you know, just with the non-stop attacks. Wait till I take you downstairs. Well, my son, he's going to help me move out some stuff, so it won't matter. I'm going to try and organize it because they cleared out some shit and they just piled it up in one big pile again. Well, why are we not surprised? Yeah, abuse me, make me work for nothing, give me nothing, take away all my shit as you make me work for nothing and give me nothing, to call my shit ugly, right? Whatever it is, because it's not up to your liking, because I'm not some rich bitch, right? I don't have a gold chair. I'm not sitting with the devil on a gold fucking chair here, okay? I'm just saying. Only people that run with the devil would sit on a gold chair. Because that's what they live for, is to be beside the devil on the gold chair. Okay? I'm not like that, right? And, you know, like, that is the last thing on my mind when it comes to yard routine maintenance. Okay, right? I'm still trying to figure out how to do fucking shed repairs or whatever repairs without any wood. Without any wood. That's like a child being locked up into a closet with no fucking water and food, or being able to use a bathroom. And don't say it doesn't happen, because it does. It happens all the time. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video. I asked for a little bit of help to move some stuff out of Shimei's room, so I don't have to deal with it. Because, well, I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get in there. I go downstairs, and right in front of her door are these milk containers that have books in them. And right off the hop, my son is saying, get rid of them. They're taking up space. 1, 2, 3, 4 square footage. You know how much space that is. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, let's just wait. You know, I'll put them more towards Tisha's room. That's fine. What do you want to put there? Buckets. Oh, what kind buckets? As if. Because they got buckets in their kitchen, so I guess he's going to put his buckets there. With rice and whatever in it. Okay, fine, not a big deal, but he's pressuring me to get rid of these books. Saying that nobody's going to, because I'm like, well, no, let's just wait and see. Andre can put them online and we'll try and sell them first. Oh, nobody's going to buy books. You know, they're not going to come and pick them up. Blah, 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 blah. You're just wasting your time and you don't know how things work and yeah. And I'm like, oh, just forget about helping me. Like, because he was going to get loud. And he caught himself. But if I would have stayed for any length of time, it wouldn't have been long before he would have been hollering at me. Oh, yeah. Like, I can't stand this, people. I'm so fucking depressed. I'm serious. I'm so depressed. And I don't believe that freezer is broken. I don't. That girl down there, she, with her sewing, she's taken like 1/3 of the whole living space down there with her sewing. And she's spreading out with it, right? And it's my job to accommodate her. It's my place. It's my responsibility to accommodate her. Whatever. I have to give up my shit. I'm the one that's the abused child locked up in a closet. Well, everybody's running around acting like everything's normal as they're abusing me inside the closet. They're isolating me, right? That's a big one. Right? Hollering and screaming at me, calling me down, calling me names, blaming everything on me. Right? Not helping me, making things hard for me. Oh, it's like, whatever. Watching TikTok videos with the shrinkflation and, you know, and paying more for nothing, packaging, and the food quality is going down. But I guess when you have lots of money, it's not a big deal, right? When you can afford to go buy whatever the hell it is that you want when you want it at the grocery store, it's not a big deal. So anything that I've done is taking up space, and I was like, shut up. Shut up. You know, they locked me out of it for, oh, those books have been sitting there for years. Yeah, well, I wonder why. You know, and so what, even if they were. But, you know, last time I checked, it's not like I can come downstairs and really do anything. And when I'm gone, and all you guys do is make a mess and make it where I can't even get into certain things. like it's dumb. And then you make a mess again, and again, and again. I'm that child locked up in that freaking closet with everybody around me torturing me. Yeah. And then when I die, they act all surprised. Call 911. And then cry on about how they love the child. Some of these people that do this stuff to these children I was talking about earlier. Oh, so yeah, right. Sure you do. No, you don't. You're sick. You're fucking sick. It's not going to get any better, people. I simply just wanted him to move a couple of things for me because he's been stacking and piling them up higher and higher and higher as he's moving stuff out of my little, in the living room there where I had that little food storage area. He's moving it out so she can spread out with her fucking sewing. It's all her sewing shit. That's all it is. Oh, she can have her sewing shit, but I can't have mine. Oh, you're blind now. You don't need it. Oh, I wonder why. I worked in a yard for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So you could even have a fucking place to live in. Gave up my life. Lost so much opportunities. Right? Had my children targeted. Shimei. You could even say Sierra, Uncle John, or whatever. Andre even. Amari. Just to knock the family as a unit down. So it's easier to exploit them, the ones that are left. Easier to abuse the ones that are left, like me. Right? Because if Shimei was here, it would be a different story, people. It really would. I probably wouldn't even be living in this house anymore under these conditions. No way. Mm-mm. Sierra was different. She was an addict, so there was no predictability there, right? I mean, maybe she could have turned her life around, maybe she couldn't have, I don't know. After what the government did to her when they kicked her out illegally, that kind of cemented it, where her life just spiraled down for 8 years until she was lured off to her death, and that was it. But even in those 8 years, there was times she'd actually help me. She'd cook when she was okay, and she'd go out of her way to help with the yard and do weeding, and she planted flowers, and she'd clean, right? Clean the garage, whatever. She was the only one who did that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I'm trying to shake it off. I'm trying not to see myself as that child locked in that closet with my parents and grandparents, wicked ones at that, abusing me, waiting for me to die so they can act surprised, and then tell the world that they loved me and that they don't understand how I died. Because they're fucking sick in the head. Literally fucking sick. Sorry, boo-boo sick. Complete denial. Yeah. I can't live with my son. There's no way. So where am I going to go when I leave this house? Not with him. No way. I'm already isolated. I can't even talk to him. It's impossible. You've seen that in the last video. I simply asked him a question. He went off on me. And then he started accusing me of this and calling me that when he was on the inside. And getting all loud and obnoxious. I was like, shut up. Yeah, it is suspicious that the freezer should be blinked out and I'm having to can now. Do they care? No. It's more space for them. It's all for her, not for him. He didn't care about any of that crap until she moved in. I guess because she sews things for him, it makes it okay. You know? Or whatever. I don't know what their politics are. All I know is I don't care. I sit here and I think, how am I going to sell this stuff without their help? Because they don't want to help. They just want to hold it against me, criticize me over it, expect me just to throw it out, right? Call me this, call me that, because it makes them feel good about themselves, right? My son, don't expect me to help you and work with you if you don't want to work with me. Oh, you want me to throw my stuff out? That's me working with you. Yeah, okay, as if you haven't thrown out enough already. Okay? I'm looking at a video here, title. It says, they put me in a nursing home. So I sold the house they were fighting over. If you notice, nobody in Marina's family helps her with shit. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones with the middle-class lifestyle, and all their kids are growing up, and they don't have no responsibilities with nothing and nobody. But I suppose they'll just wait for an inheritance, right? Me, no, they can't fight over a freaking house because I don't own a house. But if I die, there's that little teeny-weeny bit of life insurance policy, so I guess I have to die before they can get that, I suppose, eh? Yeah. Anyway, I couldn't get 500 ml size jars. All I could get was 250 ml. And I have 1 liter size here already. So I don't know. I'm not canning today because I already canned this morning and I'm tired. And I gotta go into my room and try and find a spot for these jars because as it is right now, I ain't taking them downstairs because it's a big freaking mess. They're piling shit upon shit. It's a big stack of shit all piled up. You'll see. Where I need to get into, I simply asked my son to help me move them out into the hall so that I could get into what I want to do, and he started in on me before we even walked into the frickin' through the door frame. Now, get rid of the books. Sounds like Mrs. Gill. Doesn't that sound familiar? Get rid of your books. Get rid of your stuff. Like, fuck you. There's gonna come a day they're gonna lose everything. Yeah. Or practically everything. How can you take pride in accumulating wealth because you were a tyrant and you terrorized people as you bled them dry like a vampire for every penny that you could get out of them? And if you couldn't get the penny, you went for the energy. Whether it was the negative energy feeding into the fear factor, or the energy to do the work where you yourself don't want to do it, but technically should be responsible for it. And then justify your behavior as if you're doing the person a favor. Oh, I'm doing you a favor by allowing you to stay in this house. What did I ever do other than give up my life to stay in this house? And the ones that I gave up my life for to stay in this house lock me up in a closet and abuse me like a 3-year-old child, just waiting for me to wither away and then act surprised when they open the closet door and find out that I died in it. Yeah.